Hello and welcome to one of the Library's presentations of my Silly Wings project on everyday magic with kids. I'm going to talk about the hidden curriculum of childhood because homeschooling has become a topic in many circles given COVID. And one of the concepts that trained educators to learn about hidden curriculum is that's one of the things that they go in to the classroom knowing how to teach is hidden curriculum. Well, here I share with you what you can do with your kids to ensure that they are still exposed to proper hidden curriculum to develop their soft skills needed in life, such as time management and resilience. As a parent, you have the opportunity every day to share your habits with your kids. I call these opportunities everyday magic because it's truly magical how little habits make such a big difference over the long term. Let me explain a bit of how to demonstrate your everyday magic to your kids so they can learn foundational habits. Learning happens in ways you don't always expect. When kids go to school, there's a lot of technical know how that they learn. However, there is a reason most homeschool parents have heard, but how will they learn to socialize? Well, personally, I'm more worried about how will they learn to be proper human beings without the hidden curriculum that occurs in school environments where values, knowledge, and behavior is learned. Researchers are very concerned with hidden curriculum because that's where stereotypes and attitudes are perpetuated. Medical schools have had to change up their curriculums to have more discussions on ethics and professionalism because the technical expertise would just go to the heads of the doctors, forgetting the human element. We are at risk of the same thing happening in our schools as a shift to virtual learning of the technical know how is still there, but now the hidden curriculum occurs only in one environment, at home. So soft skills are needed to be able to communicate properly in society when they go outside of the home again. Truly, being a parent, it is difficult not to believe that magic is real because watching my son grow has been amazing. I love how he learns, picks up on things in his environment, even in TV shows, and in what ways he mimics me as his mama. I've also had to remember to be very patient as he is still learning. I have to remember where he is starting from in life, which is where we all start, from scratch. I have realized that each habit I teach him makes for magical experiences later on when he demonstrates that he's learning. Sometimes I will see a demonstration right away, other times it will take months. Magic takes time to work. The hidden curriculum, and they're learned over time. It's built upon, right? So, of course, in these educational environments, that's where they would typically get it, but now it's at home. And that's why a lot of parents, teachers, and you see memes everywhere of like how a kid's going to come back to school and have all these different attitudes and perceptions that what outside of the classroom. Well, that's because of the hidden curriculum. Because it does certainly influence attitudes, knowledge, and behavior. There are so many examples of hidden curriculum that I can make, but an easy one in the school system is the way in which teachers are identified, informally by first name or formally by last name. I mean, think about yourself. How did that impact how you related to your teachers as a child and how you related to adults in general? When you really think about it, how did you learn respect and value? Did someone sit down and talk to you about it, or was it something you learned as a byproduct of your interactions in your environment? Probably the latter until some employment training. Soft skills are required for healthy interactions and communication skills, especially in dealing with strangers in new situations. The more confident a person is in their own soft skills, the greater social standing and fulfillment they will attain in society, too. Personally, I participated in every training session I could attend to learn many of these skills. I even found a way to balance my natural tendency to be respectful, kind, and courteous while being able to earn commission and achieve recognition for customer service many times over. I was able to find a way to be able to blend myself with business requirements through the training of soft skills. Time management is an element of hidden curriculum because it is a habit we learn from our environments. What we do or not do, depending, is what our kids will learn. It is so ingrained in habits that lateness is even identified as a character trait for some people. Time management, though, is not just about being on time. It is also the ability to prioritize tasks to accomplish them in a timely fashion. Take the example of getting to really leave the house in the morning. How tasks are prioritized in order to leave the house at a proper time teaches them how to do it themselves too. And even if you get frustrated with it, you can still teach them to do better and be different without negatively impacting yourself. Creative thinkers make for great problem solvers. The ability to be resourceful and to think outside of the norm is important to overcome obstacles and find solutions. We show our kids daily how to problem solve. How often do you run into an issue and have to figure out how to go about fixing it in a day? Have you considered asking your kids to help figure it out? Especially if it involves them too. Sharing ideas is important to learn to be able to be cooperative in a teamwork environment. One way to start with idea sharing from a young age is through story time. I believe in a mix of reading to the kids reading to the adults, and taking turns making up stories, or even building a story together, like over a campfire. Every opportunity for your child to make the link between actions and thinking matters, and that's where stories come in. And even the smallest type thing, like one of the things that I do, it's very small, but easy way to establish a link between words and actions is to turn on the subtitles and closed captionings on your kids' TV shows on Netflix, Disney Plus, YouTube, whatever, or even on the TV. That's why I go with the particular service I'm with, is because their closed captioning service is superior to the other. Autonomy. The more autonomous a person is, the better chance they have of holding their own opinions and ability to take care of themselves, even in a group. If someone does not learn how to interact properly with themselves, it becomes a much more difficult task to learn how to interact with other people. That's why there's independent play, self-soothing, and self-care are very common subjects found in parenting books and literature. Independent play starts at a very young age, then comes self-soothing, which can only really start after the newborn age because you don't want to shock them too much. It has to be taught and brought into their life. And then self-care is the next step, which comes into toddlerhood when they learn to dress themselves and take care of themselves and brush their teeth. Each stage leads to the next. The environment in which they learn autonomy makes a difference as well. In Montessori philosophy, the child has access to stations that are set up with age-appropriate tools so they can engage in an activity by themselves. Take it out, set it up, play with it, take it down, clean it, and put it away properly. The process is clearly laid out for independent success. Another example of this that I do here at home is I put the milk on the lower shelf in the fridge, and I have cups available for him that are easily accessible. So now that he's of the age that he can get milk himself, whenever he goes, "Mom, can I have some milk?" I can go, "Oh, yeah, you can go pour it yourself." And he can. Resilience. Resilience is having done this slide already, losing all my notes from slides 3 to 9, getting mad at myself for not physically saving often enough, and then having to calm down. I even talked to Reed saying, "Mommy's really upset right now because she's mad at herself." He looked at me and went, "Okay, Mommy, how about you take a big deep breath?" And I did. Because he even has learned that one of the things about when you're mad at yourself or even mad at someone else is you need to calm down, right? Well, calming down is part of it for sure, changing up your mindset, and then getting back up again, doing it again. Well, I've done all these slides all over again, and I am so happy for it because you feel a sense of accomplishment. Because I could have given up, but if anything, I am resilient. Resilience was a result of studying successful adults who beat the odds of their peers and often coming from troubled backgrounds. And so, really, resilience is a survival coping mechanism that is found in people that have come up in through difficult paths of life. Everyone can learn resilience, though. A simple and classic childhood experience of resilience is learning to walk, but later on, when they're actually aware of it, it's learning to bike. When they uh, fall off the bike, scrape their knees, you clean them up, and you go, "Okay, get back on the bike." But it takes that adult, it takes that other person to go, "Get back up on the bike, you can do it." That's teaching resilience. Learning resilience becomes an active experience, especially with the right guidance. Boundaries and expectations. I count this in the list because it's much like how a mother dog teaches her pup not to nip. The adults in the kids' surrounding environments influences what a child understands to be appropriate and what is expected of them. Rather than nipping a pup, there are phrases a parent can use to enforce boundaries. One I learned a while back is, "I will not let you do that." Personally, I also had a flip side to this statement. So that way they have an expectation to fall back on after learning the boundary. I've added, "I would rather you do this." An example would be, "I won't let you scream in the house. I would rather you be quieter so I could hear you better."
Yeah, and yesterday my mommy was unhappy, and I accidentally broke the curtain, and he broke it more, he was actually trying to take it off, but he ripped it a little bit, and he went backwards to backwards, and then he balled on the ground and died off on my bed.
Yep. You helped me be able to calm down and change my mindset, eh?
Yep.
Yep. Yep. You're learning how to do the same? Yep. 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 So, that's something that's taken time to build. Is everyday habits and everyday magic over years. Because these expectations take time to be fully demonstrated by the child. But keep consistent and patient. It does pay off. It is up to their surroundings to teach a child what is tolerable, too. I mean, this usually happens in the school environment where they're defined by expectations and punishments of the school system. Everyday habits is everyday magic. A common phrase used with kids is monkey see, monkey do. This still applies, and I expand that childhood teaches them what to do and what not to do, too. Sometimes observation is enough to learn what not to do, but often has to be lived to really get it, or taught otherwise. So we teach through habits. Here's the thing though, you do not necessarily have to change your own habits. You can simply teach new ones. Every habit a child learns influences their self-culture so they may develop into healthy human beings. For example, learning to brush their teeth and wipe their bums creates a foundation for a culture of cleanliness that they'll use throughout their lives. Really, outside the classroom and understanding hidden curriculum, teaching everyday habits are important lifelong lessons that you can take on as a parent. These include exercise, cooking, and so much more. Make it fun though, and engage your children's curiosity to watch the magic happen. Every lesson today is a strategy for tomorrow. Some lessons take a few tries to get, so please be patient yet consistent with your children. Keep in mind that there are steps to make to build a foundation that will be built upon and upgraded throughout their entire lives. As they learn new habits, they learn how to become lifelong learners. I encourage you to relate new habits with old ones and to think of a few habits that you've learned from your own childhood that have stayed with you throughout your entire adult life that you'd like to teach your kids. Figuring out what is your everyday magic doesn't magically happen overnight. It takes time to reflect on what everyday habits you want to teach your kids in order to positively influence the hidden curriculum of them being at home when they're not in school. Even when they do go back to school, you can keep up with your hidden curriculum to match alongside what they are learning in the school system.
Yep.
So next time you see your kid's teacher, even surprise them and talk about hidden curriculum in their classroom. Talk with your friends, family, experts, whoever you feel comfortable to talking about yours and your kids' habits in an open way. I've also created a Facebook group for Mama Bears. There's the link. I still have working on an idea for dads, or parents in general. I also strongly encourage you to read up on the subject some more via blogs and books. It would be my pleasure to do a bibliotherapy session with you to get literature that suits your needs and learning style in your family the most. Parenthood is eclectic, so you get to take ideas from your past and present, read up on others, take on parenting, and then there's the influence of your family and friends too. So I hope this presentation leaves you with feeling some of your own magic weaving around you and all of those elements. It's eclectic. You get to take all of those elements and make it your own. And I hope that knowing that you have that magic and you have that ability, that it allows you to be excited to share these with your kids. In conclusion, everyday magic is created by teaching everyday habits. These everyday nuanced habits of the way are habits in the way the kid speaks, acts, and listen. I mean, these are curriculum worthy elements unto themselves, but they're hidden. Thing is, now you know it exists. Now you know it's no longer hidden for you. So you won't be able to help but see it because it's the hidden curriculum that becomes a foundation for your child's self-culture as they grow up. All of these habits inform habits for the rest of their lives and turn into soft skills as they become employable. These skills include time management, creative thinking, autonomy, resilience, and boundaries and expectations. I encourage you to reflect on how you've learned these skills yourself and how you can include your kids in learning the habits that are important to you. I thank you very, very much for joining me. This was a tough project for me. It was close
Yeah.
to my heart, and even with the
Mwah.
technological goof-ups,
I love you, Mommy.
I love you too, Reed. I'm very happy to be presenting this to the world as one of my Silly Wings projects as a young librarian. Thank you very much for your interest in informing your child's hidden curriculum at home. I encourage you to contact me with questions or to schedule a Zoom session for bibliotherapy or any other questions. I send my kindest regards to you as Amanda, the Young Librarian. Have a wonderful day.